It's the National Football League on EA Sports. This one features Kareem Hunt. He had a performance for the ages last week, one of the greatest we'll ever witness. It's the Browns and the Saints, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 24.
EA Sports. And not too much time has elapsed yet here in this one. Let's get you into the action here early in this first quarter. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Shreds the tackle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Gotta like that start. 14 yards to get him going. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Watson. And this nearly an interception right off the bat. An early crisis averted as that winds up incomplete. The Browns come into this one still undefeated despite the one tie. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. You look at this Saints defense. They're a unit that enters play way down, number 28 in the NFL right now against the run.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means this is going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 45-yard line. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Good sizable run there by Deshaun Watson on the RPO.
That's in his DNA as a quarterback. He's been doing that since high school. He understands the RPO game as well as any quarterback in the league, and he makes excellent decisions. And when he takes off and goes, his team's pretty happy about it.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They run right side with Hunt. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. Just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. On 2nd down, here's the option. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Boy, the pursuit there, terrific from the linebacking core.
Oh, it certainly was, because so many times on an option play, you'll see a linebacker make a beeline for the quarterback.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Trying to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? A give right side now to Hunt. Fights off the defender. And after the nice stiff arm, the next wave swarms in quickly for the stop. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and run for it. He gets away from 1. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive...
No score as of yet. Defenses have ruled here into the second quarter. But here's another 3rd down situation to check in on. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. Fighting through, and he's got space.
74 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
We use the word relentless a lot.
So here's the situation upcoming. Second quarter, 3rd down, and this defense just trying to force the field goal attempt. A carry here for Hunt. Shoves him aside. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
Hunt.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns.
Correct. With now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Browns drive the entire length of the field, 99 yards for the score. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may even turn into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive.
And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The Saints in the hurry up here, clock continuing to roll. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Peters.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Up the middle, here's Stevenson.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The run on 3rd and long, so I guess waving the white flag a little bit.
Yeah, and I think sometimes teams are so committed to running the football that they'll take a chance, even in a long yardage situation, to let them know on the other side, this is what we're going to be about today. In this case, they didn't get a 1st down, but if you're thinking along with them, hey, they might be committed to running it all game long.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. You see the numbers, all those carries. If you get that many carries in the drive, you better finish it with a touchdown, and he did.
Yeah, and deservedly so, right? Because we've seen times like the Carolina Panthers, sometimes Jonathan Stewart to carry the ball all the way down, and then Cam, he's such a great goal line runner, he'll carry it in. But in this case, though, that didn't happen. The fellow lugging the load, he's the one who got to reap the reward.
Yeah, there was no touchdown vulture here.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now a first down throw. Watson eluding the pressure, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Javon Kinlaw able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Well, we'll move right through the break then, skipping halftime and back to the field for the start of the second half.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Just the one touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up past the 40-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. Peters
work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Looking to throw. Peters. And that is incomplete here.
But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. The Browns D locked in on 3rd down, brings up 4th.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. And good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Watson now going to run the option right. And some strong running. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down.
So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Here comes 3rd down and 7.
They'll run again with Hunt. Shreds him with a stiff arm.
And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
A run here with Hunt. Oh, he'll pitch it. It's a reverse.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he works free. Fights through him.
Wrap up.
Still moving. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints' 25-yard line. 162 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 1st down, they go right back to Hunt, fighting him off. A solid stiff arm. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4.
The Browns on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Kareem Hunt
with career touchdown number 96. He joins Eric Dickerson on the all-time list.
And the Browns are closing in now on a 7th straight win to start the year.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And it's good to make it 14-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told.
And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
And able to get this out to the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over.
And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set them back on second. To throw on second down, Peters. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Peters. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. On first down, they'll run with Hunt.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 198 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in there. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
Kareem Hunt with
3 here in this game and 17 now on the year.
And the Browns are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. Drive 4 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off as he did so with a touchdown run. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets to the 40-yard line. So they just got the ball off the interception. Now can this offense take advantage? Great field position, 1st and 10 in the red zone. They'll run with Hunt. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. And this is going to bring up a crucial situation here. They're going to try the onside kick. Will they get it? Or can the receiving team prevent that from happening? And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort. Fourth quarter, and it's kind of getting to be desperation time here for this defensive side. They need to get the ball back to their offense. They have a chance to do that on third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he'll go down at the 28. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. It's a third down situation in the fourth quarter. Time to see if this defense is up to the task.
They'll run the option on third and short yardage.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a fourth down. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 39. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into...
They said their goal was to win 7 games. They've done that pretty early in the year.
I think it's time for them to elevate that number and really make a big push to finish this season strong.
It's week.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. He can't get him down. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. Just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Watson now going to run the option right. There's a nice move. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down. I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The Browns come into this one still undefeated despite the one tie. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And the way they played last week defensively, when I watched the tape, I had to stop it a couple of times and count to make sure there were just 11 guys on their side of the field because they covered every angle and thoroughly shut down the other side. Hold them just 7 points total. They do that again, that'll get the job done one more time in a big way.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson, his 6th touchdown of this. Stroud to throw it. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Browns will have solid field position here as they take. This is Hunt. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They run again with Hunt. And they can't bring him down. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Handoff up the middle, Hunt. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Powering forward. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
73 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
How about our reigning AFC Player of the Week, hot-footing it into the secondary on that run?
Yeah, nice long run. That's what got him the award a week ago. Maybe he's trying for 2 in a row here this week.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass.
On the run, this is Hunt. Pushes past him, and he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. It fights him off. Flush to it, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Poona Ford, the one to get to him and drop him. So on 4th down, Kevin Stefanski trots out the field goal unit.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Now Stroud.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to the slam.
Stroud is hit, and the ball is loose.
And this is picked up by the Browns. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the 2nd drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it's the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Here's a toss right side for Hunt.
And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
Kareem Hunt, that's his 19th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback.
And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
There's the versatile back, Kareem Hunt, getting set with the rest of this offense for the next drive.
And now the 1,400-yard mark eclipsed, a touchdown on that last drive. He's put together such a solid season. We always talk about 1,000-yard campaigns and 2,000 so elusive, but 1,500, that's a nice total to aim toward, too.
It really is, because when you get to that type of a number, you know those guys up front have done yeoman duty, right? And what we don't give them enough credit for is not just the initial blocks that they make. It's that second and third block. Sometimes you get the combination blocks where you're running the power game. But how about the linemen who can get their block on the line of scrimmage and climb to the second and the third level and get linebackers and defensive backs downfield to gain additional yardage?
And they have done that to perfection almost this year.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL here on this first day of November. We'll get started up at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Saints who have the lead in the second quarter. The Saints trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, it's up to Highmark Stadium to check in on the Bills. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Gabe Davis, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders. Lamar Jackson, a touchdown pass in the victory. Final adjustments being made in the locker room. We're just about set for the second half from Cleveland. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A very one-sided first half, 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now an option play on second down.
He stiff arms him and running with power here. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Beating him there with his legs. 21 yards, first down.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Kareem Hunt with a milestone. Career touchdown number 100.
Joining Curtis Martin and Franco Harris at the century mark as he continues to climb the all-time list.
And the Browns take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. So another rushing touchdown for him this year. Boy, he's found the end zone quite a bit so far. Charles, that now an even 20 scores on the season.
And you know how often we use the term, probably I overuse the term imposing their will? Well, these defenses have become really powerless to stop him. That's what we've seen from him and his team this year. You know he's getting the ball down here in the red zone, but he's just got that strength of will himself, and he's used it to great effect.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Now a 2nd and 10. Stroud out of the gun here. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
A shotgun snap to Stroud.
And now another one thrown incomplete. The Browns D locked in on 3rd down, brings up 4th. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and they will remain well behind.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And it was the stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, Most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
To throw is Watson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 24-yard line. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
138 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
Here's Watson. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Browns will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation.
Got it. Ready? Read. Check. On my fly. Hey.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it. Hunt will try going up the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 7.
They run right side with Hunt. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his 21st touchdown of the season.
And the Browns are poised to move to 8-0 as they extend their lead even further.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
The Texans back out there and ready to go. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And Stroud now to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw them break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on fourth down, this is a big call.
And that flag's on Myles Garrett, and we know he's got a nose for getting after the quarterback, but that time, even though he's going to protest it a little bit, he's a step late, and they hit him with the penalty.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the...
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Stroud here on third and long.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And this is picked up by the Browns. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
There's the stiff arm. Wow, 185 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw on that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. From the gun, here's Watson. He'll buy some time right. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy,
It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and this one features Kareem Hunt. He really helped drive them a week ago with a 3-touchdown.
Here we go. Now Burrow on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Boyd. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's second down. On the option left, it's Burrow. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down, Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete. The Browns D locked in on third down, brings up fourth.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead. A give right side now to Hunt. Runs through the contact. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, right back to Hunt. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Watson going to try and run it. And he'll barrel his
his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. On third down, here's Hunt. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
You know, we might start getting...
They run for it with Hunt. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A carry here for Hunt. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
51 yards rushing for him now to this point.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
9 yards on the play and a 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll run it here with Hunt. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Stays on his feet. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Kareem Hunt.
Touchdown number 22 on the season.
And the Browns get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Barnes. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Now another timeout called for by the offense So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Bust through the tackle. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Desmond Ridder sharp in the victory as his guys get back within a game of 500. From there, we head up to Wisconsin to check out the Packers at home in Lambeau. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Mac Jones strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Josh Allen, strong as usual in the victory as his guys run their record now to 7-3. We saw a strong first half out of the quarterback, Joe Burrow. He fired his guys into the lead with 2 first-half touchdown passes as they were looking like a well-oiled machine in the first half of play. These two teams making their final adjustments for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Cincinnati and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this 3rd quarter. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And way up past the 35 before he's taken.
And even 100 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
But now he appears to be in some pain. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. This is Ford. Shoves him aside, and they will finally get to him down at the Bengals 34. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. Again, they turn to Ford. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. On the ground, it's Ford. And the reinforcements are going to stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. And boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short. And he didn't get there.
We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
11 empty. 12.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
54 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
So right now what I'm seeing an offense that's just firing off the ball a lot quicker than they can react. And not only that, they're sustaining the blocks too. I'm seeing guys get 6-7 yards downfield before there's even a hint of contact.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Here's Watson, option left. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
Jerome Ford, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up. Then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They just got to find a way to get it done.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A gain there of 21 yards. From midfield now, Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Now Burrow. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
11.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. And that is incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a 1-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
To the 40 and no further. The broken tackle, but then the hole closed quickly.
Now a pause for an injury, and that's the quarterback, Deshaun Watson, who's shaken up a bit. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. They run with Ford. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Shoves him away, and they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard.
On one, ready? Here we go.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Here we go.
2nd and 10.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He finds his man, complete. It's Barnes. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here we go.
They run for it with Mixon. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it. It worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow. Might be too far for the field goal. So it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
Again, it's Burrow on 2nd and 10.
He will find his man Chase, complete.
And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone. First down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Meanwhile, Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd.
Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Now Burrow.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, they can smell victory, partner. They can see it on the horizon, but certainly we're not done yet here. Defense still has 3 timeouts, and obviously this is a very slim lead they're holding on to.
And let's face it, the easiest way to get this done, challenge your ground game. Challenge your offensive line, your tight ends, your receivers, anyone who's going to lay down a block. Don't let there be penetration because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and maybe bring extra people to the ball. If you can do that, make them burn their timeouts, run out the clock, life will be good. But if you really want to gamble a little bit, a quick play action, quick throw, might be able to get it done. Just make sure it's not incomplete and stop the clock.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
On third down, it's Ford. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll try and run for it. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain.
Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
To throw, Burrow.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Throwing, Burrow.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Browns defense stands tall.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Stiff-armed him.
And he will have a Browns first down. It has been a struggle, but it's looking like that'll be the one to seal a victory.
A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the
It's the NFL.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Well, CD, you see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and these guys, they've been hearing the mantra next man up since their Friday night light games in high school. It's 3 simple words, but they're absolutely perfect to use, and everyone has adopted them. Next guy up, do your best.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season, and that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
The Browns come into this one still undefeated this deep in the year despite the one tie. And they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're...
And now off to the races down the right side. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
All right, I've got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
What are you saying? I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 8.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. Pushing his way through. Shoves him aside. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
54 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive...
He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line.
Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack. 2nd and 21, a lot of ground to cover.
Watson now going to run the option right. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
This now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. They'll run with Hunt. Fights through him. And fights through one man. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. And his kick is good. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know. From the gun on 3rd down. Brown. And that will be incomplete. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
Pass complete. Now race for the marker.
It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And this Browns defense stands tall. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and less than a yard. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. Breaks a tackle.
There's a nice move, and he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. 103 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
On 2nd and goal, here's the option.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Hunt is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. So a great second effort there as he's able to stay upright and get into the end zone.
I think not just a second effort. I think a third effort was what got him in. Maybe possibly even a fourth.
Yeah, whatever it was, he was not going to be denied. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
This is taken at about the 14. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. Yeoman's effort on that last drive. 7 carries, got the touchdown as well. And the O-line probably got a little extra oxygen on the sideline in between.
And deservedly so, because they were also calling for him to continue to get the ball, because there's a rhythm that gets established, right? When you're running it well and the back's getting the ball and he's in sync and reading blocks, and the offensive line wants to continue to pound away. Haven't met an offensive lineman yet that likes to pass block more than he likes to run block. And that last drive, we saw the end result, didn't we?
Yep, and all were rewarded with a trip to pay dirt. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Powering forward. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner, and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
133 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
This is Hunt on the draw play. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game.
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the 3rd quarter and continue this midseason contest.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter.
And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Brown now looking to throw on 2nd down.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 20. 51 yards on the punt there.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 26. They'll start with Hunt on the ground.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
On 2nd down, right back to Hunt. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
The slot man in motion right. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
They run for it with Hunt. Pushes past him and bulldozing his way through. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They run again with Hunt. He stiff arms him, fights loose. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Second down and 8.
A give right side now to Hunt. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce and might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or 2, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8
How's
ounce.
that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. They run right side with Hunt. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Watson going to try and run it.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Calling no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. And now timeout is whistled. There's a Brown shaken up on the play.
The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Now Brown on 1st and 10, and that's incomplete.
Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. Third quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10.
Off the bootleg. Brown. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On 3rd down, Brown in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point attempt to come here. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4.
2nd down and 4.
Operating from the gun, Brown. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that one, that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even...
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. Looking to throw. Brown. And he's got it. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Broncos are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And it's 17-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game. So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time first down. But I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it all in as he's watched this thing unfold. And finally, the eyes carried the legs and took him downfield.
You're right. His longest run of the game waited till the fourth quarter, and maybe that lulled the defense to sleep a little bit.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
There's the stiff arm. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. The Browns on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Again, they turn to Ford. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. A strong running. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Ford. Shoves him aside. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run with Ford. Shrugs him off.
And he will have the Browns first down. It has been a struggle, but it's looking like that'll be the one to seal a victory. 62 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score.
Jerome Ford with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Point after try forthcoming. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. And the touchdown apparently wasn't enough. They're going to go for the onside kick here. And the Broncos are going to get the football. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you.
Now Brown, he lost the football. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself.
It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. Operating from the gun. Brown, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here.
And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the